Welcome back. All right, let's take a look at what's making headlines in the newspapers. Some of the front pages we have for you this morning, starting with the Business Day. And here's their front page. Lead story there. Case against banks collapses. Now, this is, of course, the Competition Appeal Court throwing out the case against all but 5 of the 28 banks that were accused of colluding to fix the rand in the New York foreign exchange market more than a decade ago. And the court on Monday dismissed the Competition Commission's 8-year case against 3 of the big banks and most of the foreign banks, leaving just 4 foreign banks whose traders pleaded guilty in 2015 to charges brought by the U.S. Department of Justice. Also, manufacturers' more optimistic index suggests, and this is the APSA Purchasing Managers Index. It's compiled by the Bureau for Economic Research at Stellenbosch University, and it indicates a rise to 50.9 in December from 48.2 in November, suggesting that manufacturers are more optimistic about business conditions over the long term. Also on that front page, SABC investors brawl over spectrum ownership. SABC's 2 largest shareholders are at loggerheads over the ownership of the company's multi-billion rand spectrum. And then there's another story in the margins that I also just want to highlight, and this is Itala on thin ice with lapsed exemption. State-owned development agency Itala is carrying out deposit-taking activities without a banking exemption, which expired at the end of 2023. The CEO, Thulani Vilakazi, said Itala is in, quote, continuous engagement, unquote, with the Prudential Authority, which has given the commitment that Itala's operations are not to be disrupted and will continue as normal while talks over renewal continue. That's the front page of today's Business Day. Moving on, the Star this morning. Their lead, Nkandla versus Phala. Fikile Mbalula's shock admission of covering for Zuma has brought about Ramaphosa's farm into focus. Now, the ANC Secretary General's admission that the ANC lied on behalf of former President Jacob Zuma about the swimming pool that was built at his Nkandla home using public money has come back to haunt the party after more than 10 years. And this is, of course, something that people are really talking about on the social media pages as well. And as the headline suggests, bringing Phala into stark focus as well, where people are asking, so are they doing the same now with Phala as they had done with Nkandla? And Zimbabwe labels out a report on corruption as nefarious fight back. Higher Education, Science and Innovation Minister Dr. Bladen Zimbabwe has described the investigation report by OUTA implicating him in the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, along with Ernest Khoza, the chairperson, in alleged tender corruption and financial mismanagement as a nefarious fight back. We'll talk more about that at 7:40. Also, NUM to challenge the dismissal of 401 Gold 1 miners over sit-in. That story also on the front page, as well as a few others. No rush to name MK presidential candidate, and some schools keep on insisting on exclusive uniform supplies. That's today's front page of the Star. Moving on to the Citizen. We lied for Jacob Zuma. The ANC's admission that the party lied in Parliament and to the people to shield then President Jacob Zuma from graft allegations will backfire, an analyst says. And then lighting up the Golden Globes, natty dresser comedian Trevor Noah stands out. And this was, of course, at the Golden Globes that were held not yesterday, the night before, essentially. Also, SA's energy plan lacks power. A draft integrated resource plan draws sharp criticism from policy investment experts. Blade denies, and URC remains main focus for the Lions, while the Lions will now turn their attention to the Challenge Cup. The URC remains their focus. Those some of the stories on the front page of the Citizen. Right, those are the newspaper front pages we have for you today.